Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today we'll be doing a recap of most specifically March Madness, but also like other sports overall. So, um, the finals in the men and women just wrapped up. Before we get into the final, man, what a game San Diego State had against FAU. Look at this shot that they hit. You've probably already seen this.
Get winter car essentials from.
But man, what a play this was. Wait. Here.
11 to shoot. It's to Martin. Laying it out. With the start tonight. Giving it back to Davis. With 5 to shoot. Taken on. And it's blocked.
So they're down by one.
Timeout. Are they going to take it or not? They don't have their scorers on the floor. It's Butler with 2 seconds. He's got to put it up. And he wins it with the jumper.
So yeah, that was in the Final Four to get them to the final. And then they got blown out by like 15 against UConn. But UConn's so good. And then in the women's tournament, man, Jasmine Carson, this like woman who was like 3 of 19, I think they said, from the floor in the whole tournament going into this game, did this in the final against Iowa.
Reese on the bench now for LSU. So is Poole. How do they navigate this period? Carson will fire. And hit from 3. Stolke makes the catch. Can't wrap it in.
So that's one three-pointer.
The Dallas native Smith. Here's Morris into the corner. Carson again. She has been a total gamer for the Tigers. Carson. Wow. How about this first half? Jasmine Carson trying to be a hero for LSU today. So Clark, Sonato, Warnock all in with 2 fouls.
You asked about the defense, Ryan. Iowa in a man-to-man, a little bit closer.
Wow! This first half. Clark through the lane, got bumped. No call. Rebound Johnson. LSU has a 10-point lead here. Carson. You bet.
Shots. Jasmine Carson is one of them. This one was deep.
And the last one was ridiculous. Like the last shot that she hit. Like watch this.
Trying to spur on this team. Down 10 with Caitlin Clark on the bench with 3 fouls. Carson again. Jasmine Carson has not missed.
This has been 20 minutes of a treat of a basketball game.
Here we go.
Here's Poa. Poa hands it off. Carson banks it in. My goodness, it's wizardry.
And in that half, she went 5 for 5 from 3 and hit 7 of 7 shots, which is ridiculous. That's 21 points on perfect shooting. And like, look at the comments. Like, there's no way Iowa could have prepared for this random hot hand from Jasmine Carson. Like, obviously, all these players are so good, but like that's insane. Like, no, like she hasn't been good this whole tournament. And yeah, like, I don't know what's going on. So, yeah, UConn beat San Diego State in the men's final. LSU beat Iowa in the women's final. But Caitlin Clark, man, she went for 41 points in the Final Four and the Elite Eight to get them to the final. And she still scored 30 in the final, and they lost by like 16. They got to get her some help, though. Like, now she's gone, obviously, because she's a senior, and she's going to go to the WNBA as like the top pick. But man, what a tournament for her. She was ridiculous. And yeah. I mean, also, no one could have predicted UConn versus San Diego State in the final, except somehow one of my friends from school did. But yeah, I mean, most people, almost all the people that did a bracket did not have UConn and San Diego State in the final. And especially not San Diego State, because UConn had like a 16-0 start to the season, but I didn't see San Diego State have that. So, yeah. But yeah, what a game, and what a tournament on both sides, the men and the women. Just great basketball for the whole month. And yeah, we're coming near the end of the NBA and NHL seasons. I'm not a huge hockey follower, but I've started to watch hockey a little bit more than I did before. So basically the the NHL season. So today is the 4th of April. The final day of the season is the 14th of April. So because this is technically the 14th, but it's like midnight in the UK. So, yeah, 14th of April is the final day. And that's 10 days for 5 games for each team. So that season's about to wrap up. And, man, the Bruins are looking incredible. They have 125 points with 60 wins, 12 losses, and 5 overtime losses, which is insane. Yeah, let's look at the best team last year. The Panthers had 122. This team has 125, and there's still 5 games left, so they could get to 135 if they played incredible for the rest of the year. And I don't really know, but Connor McDavid, what a player he is. Look at the stats he has this year. 62 goals and 84 assists. How do you compete with that? That's 146 points in modern hockey, because Wayne Gretzky destroyed everybody, so that was Gretzky stuff. But yeah, 62 goals and 84 assists. That means he's the leader in goals, points, and assists. What the heck? What are you supposed to do? Yeah. And yeah, so the NHL is just interesting because I feel like there's just so many good players on the bad teams. Look at this. The worst team in the East is the Blue Jackets. And the worst team in the league is the Blackhawks, who have gotten rid of their best players. Here, look at this. Wait, wrong team. Right? No, never mind. So yeah, they had Max Domi, who they traded, and Patrick Kane. They have still Seth Jones, what's his name? Radish, Anathasiou, Johnson, Tays, Dickinson, Kurashev. But yeah, this team is just bad. Their leading scorer is 20 goals. McDavid has 3 times that number. What the? I mean, yeah, they're not good right now. So yeah, the NHL is coming towards a close this season. 5 teams have clinched the playoffs in the West, and in the East, that's 6. Yeah, that's going to be the shortest recap for any league, I think. The NBA, so the last day of the season is actually Sunday, April 9th. But look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games at 6 p.m. London time. So that's 1 o'clock in Eastern time in New York and the U.S. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games at 8:30 London time. So I can watch literally every single game that there is, probably. Yeah, because that's Oh wait, never mind. I'm gonna be on a trip, but yeah, but I could watch it potentially. Yeah. So those games are on at a good time, which is great. Last day of the season, and man, the East is easy to tell what's going on in the top 6 at least. I feel like the Nets won't choke it, even though they're not that great of a team anymore after losing Kevin Durant and Kyrie. But they're probably going to hold at number 6. The top 5 is set. They have all clinched the playoffs, but we don't know where they will land, what seed they will get. Right now, the Bucks, best team in the East. But the Celtics are hanging in there, only 2 games back. And who did the Bucks play? 4 games left. Bucks play the Wizards, Bulls, Grizzlies, and Raptors. 3 of those games should be easy wins. Not easy, but like games that they should win. The Grizzlies game is going to be tight. The Celtics play the Sixers. Ooh. And then Raptors twice back-to-back, like Thursday and Saturday. Or no, Wednesday and Friday. And then the Hawks. So, yeah, both teams have a pretty decent schedule. They should win 3 of those games, except maybe the South. I don't know. But, yeah, the East is pretty set in stone. We know that 11 through 15. The Magic technically have not been eliminated, but they will be. Because they're not going to win every game for the rest of the season, unless they do. Like, who do they play last 4 games? Cavs twice, then the Nets, then the Heat. Yeah, they're not winning all 4 of those. So they're most likely eliminated, so I think we have to know who the top 10 are, and those are the teams that make the playoff and play-in. So the East is basically set in stone. The West, however, what the heck is going on here? The top team is the Nuggets, obviously, as you can see here. They're 3 games ahead of the Grizzlies, and they are 2 games ahead of the Kings, who are 5 games back of the first place Nuggets, who have dropped their 16-season playoff drought. They haven't made the playoffs in 16 years, and they just did for the first time in a while. Then the Suns, who are not playing that well, but they won 5 in a row, so they're, as of like this week, doing well, but they hadn't been before that. Then we got the Clippers, Warriors, Lakers, and Pelicans. 4 teams fighting for 2 like playoff spots and 2 play-in spots, separated by half a game. That's so tight over there. And then 9 through 10 is Timberwolves, Thunder, Mavs, and Jazz. 4 teams fighting for 2 spots, separated by 2.5 games, which is also tight. Like 2.5 games with 4 games left, that's manageable. The Jazz have a chance of making the play-in. Like, honestly, like not that. And also, they're only a game and a half out of the play-in, like, number 10 seed. So, yeah. And the funny thing is the Nets are solely in the playoffs at number 6. And they had just traded to the Mavericks, Kyrie Irving, to try to make them a championship contender. And in that time, the Mavericks have fallen from 7th to 11th with losses against the Heat, Hawks, Sixers, Hornets, Warriors, Grizzlies, 1-point win against the Lakers, and a 23-point win against the Pacers. Also, I think the Pacers have been really bad because Tyrese Halliburton's been out for a while. So, yeah. But the Mavericks are just not playing like a good team. And I feel like it's because they've lost Finney-Smith and Dinwiddie. And Dinwiddie was such a good player for them. Like, he was... Like, look at this. Let's find this. Spencer Dinwiddie. His stats in his final games with the team, like, my God, he was good. Like, let's see. Look at this. Wait. So in his final 5 games with Dallas, he was averaging 26 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds with 1 steal and 1 block. 2 turnovers to 5 assists. That's a good turnover assist ratio, right? And he shot 42%, but 46% from 3. Like, they need a 3-point shooter because, and also, he averages 5 assists, which is, like, good for a point guard. But their real point guard is Doncic. And they went for Kyrie, who's, like, a little bit better of a ball handler. But they already have that ball handler. Does it matter that you don't need another ball handler? You need a guy who can go out and get a bucket, which Kyrie can do. But Luka and Kyrie are the same kind of player that they want to go out and get the bucket, but they also want to be pass first guys. So like they just don't fit together. I don't know why, but yeah. That's just not a good duo, and it's not working out. The first overall pick is going to go to either the Spurs, Rockets, Blazers, maybe, because the lottery is very, like, it can go to anybody. When is the draft lottery? So it's Tuesday, May 16th. That is in a month and 12 days. That is not that far in the future. So that's interesting. And then NBA draft. Let's look at who is here. Well, the one thing I don't agree with is how low they are putting like 22-year-old players from college. Because like I get they're 22, which is a lot older than a 19-year-old who could be a little bit like the same level of good as a 22-year-old. But they're 22. That's not that young. Like, let's see. How old's LaMelo? Whoops, I spelled his name wrong. He's 21. So that's a year younger. And yes, he's in his third season, but that's because he trained in another country. He never played college. He played in Australia and went straight from there to the NBA. And, yeah, like, that's a different way to do it. But, like, there's a bunch of 22-year-old players that have come in and been really good. So, like, let's go by position. Point guard, Scoot Henderson from the G League. He's very good. He's, like, the second best player in the draft under Wembanyama. He's going to be very good. Amen Thompson, the brother of Asar Thompson, who's ranked 4th in the draft. Then Cason Wallace of Kentucky, who had a really good tournament game against Kansas State. He was one of their only players that was actually playing well. Then we have Jalen Hood-Schifino, who's very good. He's a great player from Indiana. Buffkin. I don't really know much about this guy, but he's probably pretty good. If you have 45% from 3, that's very good. Okay. And he's a good defender, too. Wow. Yeah, that's very good. Tyrese Proctor, Marcus Sasser. Here, he's 22. And he was so good this year. And, yeah. Give me a second. I'll be back. Okay, so we're back. Amari Bailey's number 9. He was very good for UCLA. He hit the clutch shot that gave them the lead against Gonzaga, where Strother hit another one right after to give them the lead back. So yeah, that's the point guards. Kolek's very low. And Wong, and Pickett. They're all three of them are old, but they're like, Wong led his team to the Final Four. Like, I don't understand. He led his team to the Final Four. Shouldn't he get more credit? I don't know. Shooting guards, Asar Thompson. We saw his brother earlier. Anthony Black, Arkansas. He's very good. Keontae George. Grady Dick, good player. Yeah. And then Jordan Hawkins, who I think should be moved even higher, because he was shooting the lights out in March Madness this year. He was going crazy. So, yeah, he should get a higher ranking. Yeah. The one thing is, like, the NFL, you have to be like 20 or 21. I don't remember what the age is, but you have to go at least 2 years of college before you go to the NFL. They should, like, I don't think they should do that because you want players coming into the NBA really young. That's what they like doing. But, like, I don't understand why they drop how good they think the players are going to be. Like, why the heck? I know Amani Bates was, like, supposed to be very good, and he went to Eastern Michigan, right? But he still, did you see his high school mixtape? Like, bro, this guy's ridiculous. Are scouts forgetting what this man can do? Like, here, I'm trying to find what his...
Team it open.
Oh,
Here we go.
Spicer Jr. with the three. Here's another one. Oh! Hannah.
Yeah, look, this guy's very good.
Coming off an injury with the pull-up, showing no signs of injury. Like Green, no good. In fact, they come. Imani with the pull-up. ISO basketball, but just being able to create out the bounce and get the shot he wants. Working against Allen's back. Shifty with that ball, as I said. Imani Bates
Yeah.
for three.
All right, as you can tell, he's very tall, and he can shoot that well. Like, that's scary. But I think they should put him higher on the list here. But it doesn't matter. I don't know if the scouts are really looking at ESPN's draft list, because certain scouts think players are better in their own mind. Like, they're making the picks based on what they think. So, yeah. Like, look, Hawkes is 22 years old, but man, what a player he is. He's so good. Like, he was so good in college for UCLA. Miller's incredible, but he was the one who was involved in the gun problem with where he potentially, there is not enough proof of this happening, but he has been accused by many people of giving someone a gun, where a teammate a gun, and that teammate killed committed a murder with that gun. So technically, he was abetting a crime, which there's no proof that actually happened, but yeah. So that's hanging in the balance while he's playing, which is kind of controversial. Yeah. So Keontae Johnson, who had a great tournament for Kansas State, is here. He had a heart problem in, like, his freshman season, so I don't know how he's going to rebound from that. He was great this season, but he's still, like, he's old, so the ESPN thinks he's bad. No, I'm kidding. It's just they don't rank the older players at that high. Like, Trace Jackson Davis is the number 6 power forward. He's very good, and Jalen Wilson's 10th, and I forgot. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Olivier Maxence Prosper or something. But yeah, he's number 12. He's very good, but he's also pretty old. Now at center, this is actually funny. Wembanyama, Duke. Filipowski and Lively are up there. James Najee, Kel Ware, Adem Bona, and Zach Edey, Ryan Kalkbrenner. Honestly, this might be the best position of them all. Bona, Edey, Kalkbrenner, Shebwe, Wembanyama, Filipowski, and Lively. My goodness. Like, yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah, so the NBA is looking pretty cool. And now the MLB, which I know some of you guys think baseball is boring. I don't. And I feel like it's been coming actually more exciting because the World Baseball Classic drew in like the whole country of Japan, Dominican Republic, Venezuela. Like a ton of countries wanted to watch it, and a ton of countries watched it. Trace Thompson of the Dodgers represented the UK, and earlier this season he hit, like in the first game of the season he did this
Expedia.
here.
We'll track the
Situation where Trace wants to get better than last year. He was under
So
2.
now that here the bases are loaded in the
Lefties
first.
had reverse splits. Really made a dent against righties and a huge impact in a lot of clutch situations. And here early on with 2 out bases loaded.
So he represented the UK in the World Baseball Classic,
We've seen that.
and they actually won a game. It wasn't him. He wasn't the reason why they won, but he contributed and he represented a country that he probably wouldn't normally have done because he's American. But I think he has ties to the UK that he decided to represent them in the tournament. And yeah, this is what he did in his first game of the season that he played.
Enter to the pitcher.
Trace on the 0-1 pitch. Did you? Grand slam, Trace Thompson.
So he hit a grand slam on the first one. Then in the fifth, it's 5-1. He already had the grand slam.
Instead of a left.
Thompson hits it high, hits it hard, deep to left center. Thompson's left the yard again.
So he hits another home run. This one was 3 runs.
Thompson.
And remember, this is all in the same game. Then in the 8th,
About his journey. No way. No way. Trace Thompson, stop it.
so he hit 3 home runs in one game. And how many times has that happened? So 480 times. So that's now 481. So like, just think about that. That's insane. He like in the first game he played this season, he had a three home runs. Like, yeah, I know you guys think baseball is bad, like some of you guys, but it's getting better also because they added a pitch clock where you have to throw a pitch in less than 20 seconds, I think it is, which speeds up the game because obviously the game was getting pretty slow. And matches were taking 4 hours to finish, and now they're not. And it's sped up the pace of play, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so yeah, that's our recap for sports this month, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.